everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. Battle report number 20 is a 2,000 point game. This is a little state GT prep, basically. There's 4 tournaments throughout the year that are being held throughout the state of Louisiana, and whoever does the best after the year is up, I don't know, gets bragging rights, gets a cool reward. I'm not really sure. I just know that I'm going with the group. We're going down to Baton Rouge soon, and we're going to play in a big tournament. So this is some prep. This is us trying out our lists to see if we can do any good. And, well, you're about to see how it goes. So 'tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Thousand Suns, versus the WOG boss of the Orks. Yeah, I know after I said that you were expecting Eldar, but no, he's definitely Orks. It's a badass game, so sit back, relax, and get ready to see how it goes. Here's my list, and it has changed quite a bit since, well, especially since the 1,000 point tournament, but since my last 2,000 point game. I still have Ahriman on foot as my warlord. I just like him. I love the model. He's working great for me. He's got his Black Staff of Ahriman, the Infernal Bolt Pistol, and Frag and Crack Grenades. And then in order to fulfill the requirements for a battalion, so I get a few extra, command points, I added a sorcerer, just a regular sorcerer, not an exalted one, on a disc, and he's got a plasma pistol and a force sword. And I did that because he's cheaper and he has more options for like swords and weaponry and stuff like that. Plus, I wanted to put a plasma pistol in my armor somewhere, and he fulfills all those requirements. I put him on a disc. Number one, I want to use this model. I think it's gorgeous. And number two, the disc kind of gives him more versatility, more mobility, and I don't need to protect him because he's not my warlord, so that's why he's kitted out like this. We get into the bulk of my army now. I've got a unit of 10 Rubric Marines with 8 Infernal Bolters, a Soul Reaper Cannon. The Sorcerer has a Force Staff and Infernal Bolt Pistol. This is my original unit. And then I have a second unit of Rubric Marines with 8 Infernal Bolters, a Soul Reaper Cannon, a Force Axe, and a Warp Flame Pistol on the Sorcerer. That's my second unit of Rubric Marines, and yeah, they're both very, very lethal. Very similar kit outs because I have my third unit of Rubric Marines, a 9x unit of Rubric Marines with 8 Warp Flamers, and the Sorcerer has a Force Sword and a Warp Flame Pistol. These guys are all inside of a Chaos Rhino with a Combo Bolter. The idea here is, if you've seen my Demons of Zinj battle, maybe 3 or 4 battle reports ago, I played against him and he had a unit of 10 of these guys inside of a Rhino. I could only find a place for 9 with Warp Flamers that melted my Terminators. I saw the potential there. I wanted that in my army, so I've made it happen. My Zangor unit has gone down to 10, but they still have auto pistols, chain swords, and instrument of chaos. And in my opinion, they're still very, very lethal. They should not be discounted at all. Then I've got these guys back in the list. 5 Scarab Occult Terminators with 3 Infernal Combo Bolters, 4 Power Swords, the Soul Reaper Cannon, and the Sorcerer has his Infernal Combo Bolter and a Force Staff. These guys are just basically my assassination deep striking unit. I like them a lot, and they're badass, so I'm gonna keep them in the list as long as I choose to. And then there's this sexy devil, my Renegade Knight, Lord Tremendous. Oh yeah. He now has 2 rapid-fire battle cannons on him. I know. That gives him 3 heavy stubbers and Titanic feet. The rapid-fire battle cannon, I was ×2. I was toying with the idea, wasn't sure if it was legal, found out it was legal. Somebody in the comments section said, hey, why don't you try this out? That kind of pushed me over the edge. I was teetering on, I was like, do I really want to do that? Yeah, the range, the amount of shots, the damage, the cool factor. Yeah, he's got a double-barreled rapid-fire battle cannon, and I couldn't be more excited to try it out. I have no opponent list for you whatsoever. This is a This is a list that he wants to take to the state tournaments and stuff like that. He doesn't want to give it up right away. Yeah, you could probably piece together what he has by watching Battle Report, but he doesn't want me to post the list, so I'm not going to post the list. That, and I never got it from him, so it is what it is. Here's deployment, and it's a straight up kick the crap out of each other. There's 4 objectives on the table. Mine are in that ruins where my Rubik Marines are, and over by where my flyer is. I think, yeah, and his are up in the middle there in the forest, and on the far right side, there's another one inside the ruins. So, yeah, just really though, it's 12 inches in, kill the crap out of each other. I put Lord Tremendous all the way in the back left because he was my last placement. I wanted him away from the airplane, and with 72-inch range, I've still got great board cover. Honestly, I think the only thing I can't shoot with him right now is the airplane. I've got my Rhino, see, that beautiful yellow bastard right there, sitting there. I didn't get any close-up pictures because I forgot, because I'm dumb. But the Rubik Marines with the flamers are in there. The warp flamers are inside there. I've got my second unit of Rubik Marines with Ahriman inside the ruins, just kind of holding the objective, getting ready for the Orks to come at me because they have to. I got another unit of Rubik Marines sitting on the bunker in the middle there on the right with the Sorcerer on a disc backing them up. And then I got my Zangors all the way on the right side. They're going to run up and try to either catch the attention of aircraft to catch the bomb wounds because they can do like D10 auto mortal wounds on a 4-up or some crazy stupid garbage. So they're going to go up there, try to hold the objective, and try to catch the plane's attention. And I've got Terminators that are going to deep strike. That is it for deployment. My opponent has his weird bomber plane that he doesn't pay enough points for on the top right there. It's got a huge unit of boys right next to them. In the middle is a huge killer tank. Right next to them is Squigoth or something. I don't know. Massive Triceratops thing with a war platform on top of it with mortars. Like, oh my god, did I come undergunned. Then he's got another huge horde of boys with a big flamer red tank behind him. And I think there's some boys inside the tank. Yeah, I've got a hell of a fight on my hands. Starting to think that maybe my list is inadequate, but we'll see how it goes. That's it for deployment. Here's top of 1, and I did not get to go first. My opponent did, and he comes swarming forward. I'm sorry, could you just take a minute and look at this picture and really appreciate how terrifying this really is? A huge Triceratops thing is coming right at me, and the green tide is right behind him, and it's doing this crazy flying V formation. The only thing that's out of formation, ironically, is the damn aircraft, which flies over my Rubik Marines and drop some bombs. But yeah, in true Orky fashion, he's coming for my throat. Because the Orks don't have enough garbage, the aircraft of bullshit flies over my Rubik Marines, drops 10 bombs, and I get lucky. He rolls 1 below average, killing 4 guys with mortal wounds. Why do the bombs hit so accurately? Why are they all mortal wounds? Why does he get all of this for under 130 points? I have no idea. Probably because Games Workshop is run by a bunch of fucking idiots. But it is what it is, and 4 of my guys are now dead because apparently Gretchen and aircraft are amazing. So, I don't remember exactly what shoots. I think it's the big tank thing. Shoots at my Rubik Marines that took the bombing, and another one dies. Now, I know this looks bad. I know I'm dropping Rubik Marines left and right, but the amount of shots that they're taking and surviving against is astronomical. Yes. Already, I think they've taken over 30 shots, and only half of them died. And that's because 10 of them were mortal wounds that I can't take saves against. But everything else, oof. They're taking a beating and thriving. Some more of his horde. He's dedicated almost his entire army to shooting this unit of Rubik Marines, and he drops 2 more, which is fine considering the amount of shots he's thrown. I'm probably close to taking 100 shots of this unit already. And then his big Triceratops things fires at my guys, dropping just 1 more. Okay, so I'm definitely around 100 shots taken just by this 1 unit. He has basically dedicated his entire army that's within range to shooting at this 1 unit of Rubriks, and only 8 have died. I'm super happy with my unit right now. I can't even begin to tell you how impressed I am with their ability to weather damage. In the morale phase, just because I didn't want to give up first blood or anything like that, I go ahead and burn 2 command points to auto-pass the morale check. So I took the entire Orc shooting phase, basically on this unit alone, and lost 8 models. Still, that unit is really hurt. I know I'm going to lose it, totally get that, but wow. Really, wow. Stupid impressed with these guys. That brings it over here to bottom one after movement, and I don't have any. Well, that's not true. The Zangors on the right flank shoot up. They advance up into the ruins to try to get a hold of that objective. I'm hoping he ignores them and just goes to the middle where the fight is at. I'm really hoping he ignores them because that would be great, but we'll see what happens. And then I noticed something during his movement phase, and he admits it after the fact. He forgot to move his Weird Boy. Completely forgot to move his Weird Boy and utilize him. So his Weird Boy is standing outside the Horde, and my Terminators can come down. I'm going to empty everything I have into his Weird Boy and try to kill him before he can use him. I think that would be a great idea. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see if it works. So, yeah, that's why my Terminators come down like that. Lord Tremendous moves slightly over to the right, not much, just enough to get a better line of sight to things. And my Rhino, full of flamethrower guys, moves up just so that these guys have to move around in order to be able to see him to shoot at him. That's really it for my movement. During the magic phase, psychic phase, I'm able to get prescience, or prescience, however you want to pronounce it, off on my rubrics inside of here, which is great because now they're hitting on 2s. And then with some combined smites and stuff like that, we're able to do 12 wounds to this little airplane thing. Smites, Infernal Gaze, and I think Ahriman's smite was a D6, and I rolled a 5 or a 6. And I think one of the other guys was D3. And with Infernal Gaze, I think I did 2 or 3 wounds, and then there was a smite that was just a regular. No, because the guy in the disc does D3 wounds, and he did 3. So it was an amazing amount of wounds done to this stupid little aircraft, and I was really, really excited because look how close it is to dying now. We go into the shooting phase, and the Sorcerer on a Disc fires with his plasma pistol into the thing. I figured, why not? He needs a 3 to hit, or 4 to hit, because it's a flyer, and for 130 points, it's still got all the fast flying rules, because God damn you, Games Workshop. But anyway, and I actually hit with it, and I wound with it, and I do 2 wounds to it, and it dies. However, this aircraft has yet another special rule, because for 120-something points, why wouldn't it have all the fucking rules? It blows up on a 4-up. It blew up. Killed 3 of my rubrics on the left, put some 2 or 3 wounds on Ahriman, put 2 wounds on my Sorcerer on a Disc, finished off my 2 rubrics that were on top of the bunker, and then we removed it from the table. I swear to God, Games Workshop, you guys, 40k is a fine game, it really is, but some of the rules that they allow to exist in this game, somebody should take a bat to one of their heads. Unbelievable how god-awful you guys are at writing rules after 30 plus fucking years of doing this. But, you know, who the fuck am I to judge? I've never built a game or anything like that, so okay, that's just me throwing a temper tantrum. So, yeah, I did get first blood, though. So, there we go, there's the silver lining. Continuing the shooting phase, my guys go ahead and open up on the, what's it called? Oh gosh, the big Triceratops thing, Squigoth, I think that's what it is, I'm not really sure. And we do a couple of wounds to him, I can't remember how many, like 3, we do 3 wounds to it, which isn't terrible considering. And then Lord Tremendous opens up on the big dinosaur because it's terrifying, and I put 12 wounds through on it. 15 wounds was done to this thing this turn. I was very pleased. I think it has like 58, so I've got a long way to go. But it definitely took a chunk out of him, and that was phenomenal. I didn't get a picture of it, but my Terminators do shoot and kill the Weird Boy. So that's outstanding. I took 2 of his units out of like 12, so I'm doing what I can, damn it. We go over here to top of 2 after movement, and his big dinosaur guy takes a left turn, or I guess his right, and goes after my boys in the tank, my Rubik Marines. So that kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping to go after something else, but it is what it is. What can you do? The rest of his boys, as you can see, the swarm of boys, one leaves the I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe they don't leave that tank. I think the rocket boys or whatever come diving in, and the other unit of boys goes after my Terminators because they're mad they killed his weird boy. The other swarm of boys go after the Zangors with that flamey tank in pursuit. And then, yeah, like I said, the Squigoth is going after the Rubik Marines and the Rhino, and the big tank is just going to go in there and try to put some serious damage down on anything that's left. This is going to suck, but that's it for movement. We go into the shooting phase, and the red tank apparently has some sort of flamethrower that auto hits, like 2d6 shots. And it's got long-ass range, because of course it does. It's actually a pretty cool model, or a pretty cool unit. And he's able to cook 5 of my Zangors, because ouch.
No time for play.
Then his big old unit of boys shoots at the Zangors, and not all of them were in range, but about half of them were, and since he had to roll to hit, he was only able to kill one more Zangor. Over here, his big tank thing fires at the Rubik Marines and is able to drop one more. Not terrible, all things considered. And then the big psychopath dinosaur fires at him as well and takes another one down, which kind of sucks. But again, considering the amount of damage that they have to weather, they're doing exceptionally well. We go into the assault phase, and the big old horde of boys comes tearing into the Zangors. I do Overwatch. I think I drop one guy, which would have been great if there were only 5, but there's 30, so... The big psychopath dinosaur comes charging into the Rhino. It did shoot its combo bolter, and it bounced off at a nice little faceplate armor, so it wasn't going to do anything. Pellet guns and the dinosaurs is never a good look. And then, again, let's take a moment to appreciate this picture. Both units of Orks tear ass into the Terminators. They did stand and shoot, and I think I killed 3 or 4 from the unit at the bottom there. But they made it in. I didn't get a chance to Overwatch against the other guys, so it's not looking good. But it's a cool picture. Obviously, we start off the combat, and he goes with the big dinosaur, and he's able to crack open a Rhino like it's nothing. 2 out of the 9 Rubik Marines die. It sucked. Just rolled poorly. Now that I think about it, I probably should have burned a reroll or burned a command point to reroll one of those, but I didn't, and 7 rubrics are all that I have left out of the 9. We'll see what they can do. The Rhino did explode when he killed it, doing mortal wounds only to the dinosaur, putting 2 more on him. So I took 2 wounds into my unit, he took 2 wounds from the explosion. Yeah, he got the Rhino, but I feel like I'm gonna get this Triceratops. This fight wasn't even close. All the Orks attack and murder the Zangors before they can so much as reload their guns. And this fight goes pretty one-sided. 3 of my Terminators die, and in return, I do kill a handful of the Orks, but it is far from enough. So far from enough. But the fact that my Terminators are still alive, I'm very pleased. That is a lot of attacks they had to weather. This brings us to bottom of 2 after movement. Kind of a lot's happened, and it's far from over. Ton of movement. The guy on a disc shifts over a little bit to get me... I was hoping to get closer to his character so I could throw some shade at him. Think that's what the cool kids are saying? Probably not. Whatever. Don't care. Lord Tremendous moves up to try to engage with the big dinosaur thing. I believe the Rubik Marines are in combat with the Triceratops, so they're not going to be able to shoot, which is fine. Lord Tremendous is going to go in there and do some combat to them, hopefully. And that's really it for movement. I rearranged the guys inside the ruins a little bit, and that's really it. I'm kind of cornered here. In the psychic phase, my sorcerer on a disc is able to do smite on the big tank and get 3 wounds off on it. It's got to start somewhere. Aramon's able to get the +1 invulnerable save off on the Rubik Marines that are currently protecting him, which I wasn't able to get prescience off, but I was able to get this one off, so I think that's probably the better of the 2. The Rubik Marine Sorcerer with the Warp Flamers gets his smite off for another single point of damage to this jerkhole, which is great. I might actually be able to kill this Triceratops Nightmare. Kicking off the shooting phase, the Warp Flaming guys, they did disengage, but one guy has a Warp Flame pistol. No, maybe they didn't disengage. Maybe we're not in combat. Something over here happens. Maybe I am in combat and I used a warp flame pistol. I cannot remember for the life of me. But something over here is able to shoot. One of the Rubric Marines able to shoot either the warp flame pistol or all the warp flamers were able to shoot into the Triceratops and do 4 more wounds to it, which was really, really good. And considering it's only strength 4, I was very pleased to see that. Then what's left of my rubrics, and Ahriman fire at the big, gigantic Triceratops thing, which my guys must have disengaged from, or I wouldn't have been able to shoot him. And I'm able to do another couple of wounds to him. Also, I did a spell or something like that on his character in the back there, and did a couple of wounds to him. So I can't remember what it was. It must have been something in the psychic phase, because I couldn't have shot at him. But yeah, his little character in the middle there's got some damage on him too. And then LT opens up on the big tank over there. I put both of the rapid-fire battle cannons into it because I'm just going to charge the squig off, and damn the odds. It turned out to be a good call because I ended up doing 16 wounds to the big tank. So I think it has like 19 wounds on it total, taken off of it so far. That was huge. Hopefully this thing blows up before it can do too much more damage. And here, just because I overcharge my plasma pistol, fire at the tank, hit, wound, it goes through, and 2 more wounds are on this thing. So, over 18 wounds done to it in one shooting phase. Very, very pleased with my shooting. In the assault phase, I send in Lord Tremendous, and he makes it no problem. I did send in the Rubric Marines first. A few of them died, 2 or 3 of them died, but they made it, and then Lord Tremendous gets in, so he can't overwatch, which was really good because he rolled really well to hit. It's a lot of shots. He was bound to make a few. So, while I hate losing my Rubric Marines like that, I'd much rather lose them than Lord Tremendous. So this was awesome. We go into combat, I lose 3 more Rubric Marines, and Lord Tremendous takes no wounds, and in the end, he's got 3 wounds left on his Triceratops. I have no idea how many it has, I don't remember. So, it's only got 3 left, it's on its 3rd tier, or 3rd bracket. I should be able to kill it next turn. My poor Terminators, still swarmed by the Orks. I am able to kill a few of them. They kill another one of mine. All that's left is my Sorcerer. But I gotta hand it to them. They're really hanging in there considering how much the odds are against them. Nothing happens in a morale phase, so here's top of 3 after movement. And the biggest thing that shocked me, really, is the giant Triceratops thing disengages. I didn't see that coming. I probably should have, because now he gets to shoot with a whole bunch of his stuff at Lord Tremendous. But honestly, I figured he'd take this turn to really focus on my remaining rubrics, Ahriman, and my Sorcerer, and then just after that, concentrate on Lord Tremendous himself and the 1 remaining rubric Sorcerer I have from the Warp Flaming unit. It's really not looking good, but that particular thing shocked me, because I'm going to kill that stupid Triceratops next turn. Other than that, a swarm comes out of something, I think the big tank, and is going to try to take out my Sorcerer on a disc, which is totally understandable. The little red tank comes over into the middle to get a shot off on the guys inside the ruins. The swarm of Orks on the right side hold the objective that they kicked the Zangors off of. And the rest of them up top there are still going to try to kill my Terminator. The rocket guys are the regular foot soldier guys. They're moving towards the remaining rubric and Lord Tremendous. There is an objective between there, and they want to kill that last rubric. That's really it for movement. Jumping into the shooting phase, his big swarm of Orks, I believe, starts shooting at the Rubric Marines and drop 1. Again, not terrible considering the amount of shots they're taking. I believe that big red tank in the back there opens up with its big gun and everything else into the rubrics that are in the ruins as well, dropping another one. I think I've got 3 guys left in there. The Triceratops thing, the Squigoth, I think it is, fires at Lord Tremendous and does 6 wounds to him. I think he also fired at the Rubric Marines. I can't remember if he did any wounds or not, but like I said, I got 2 or 3 guys left in there. I'm sorry, it must have been the big tank that fired at him earlier, because here's the big swarm of guys shooting at my guy on a disc. And he actually survived. He's only got 1 wound left, but he did survive their volley. I know they're going to assault him in a minute and kill him, but this was awesome. You knew this was coming. These guys come charging in. I overcharged the plasma pistol just because I thought it'd be funny, and I hit and I wound with it. Needing a 6 to hit, I hit and I wound, and I kill an Ork on the way in. He's the one in the back there that didn't quite make it. However, the 20 or so buddy has made it no problem and have surrounded my Sorcerer. Not looking good. The fists start flying. I think there's even a character in there somewhere, possibly the guy with the big banner, and they beat my poor sorcerer to death. I mean, death by 1,000 cuts. I didn't have a chance in hell, but what a cool way to go. After the fight, they take their 3-inch reconciliation towards Rubric Marines inside the ruins, and I've got to deal with them next turn or I'm in a lot of trouble. And then in combat over here, I think I kill 1 or 2 of the rocket men. It doesn't really matter because they're able to finish off my Terminator. And while that sucks, they took an incredible amount of damage in order to drop them. So, although I did lose, I'm proud of my unit. I'm not upset about the loss at all. It was totally what should have happened. They held in there way longer than I thought they were going to. Nothing happens in the morale phase, so here's bottom of 3 after movement. And, yeah, Lord Tremendous comes moving up forward. I'm going to try to shoot and kill the Triceratops and the big tank thing on the right, because they've each only got a few wounds left on them. The 2 Rubric Marines move up, because I'm going to try to use their shots to finish off the Triceratops first, so I can concentrate fire with Lord Tremendous. The rest of the Rubric Marines and Ahriman stay in the ruins, and they're going to work on the patch of orcs that are on their right there. And that's all I've got left, so that's it for movement. So, in the Psychic phase, Ahriman gets Prescience off on the Rubric Marines, who also come up onto the top floor just to make their charge more difficult. And Weaver of Fates on himself, giving himself a 3-up ward, or invuln, whatever you want to call it. Just trying to up their survivability a little bit. And then Lord Mother Effin' Tremendous opens up with his big guns. 1 rapid-fire battle cannon goes into the Squig-Off, 1 goes into the big tank, and the 3 heavy stubbers go into the orcs behind him. As you can see, I roll out of the box. I don't know where it came from, I don't know what happened, but I'm so glad that it did. The Triceratops dies, the tank dies, and a ton of boys die. I mean, it's 9 shots at the heavy stubbers. I mean, yeah, it's strength 4 with AP 0, but damn did they go through. I guess it helps when they're naked. So, yeah, probably the best shooting phase with Lord Tremendous I've ever had. Putting 2 rapid-fire battle cannons on him was the right thing to do. Wow! We go into the assault phase, and I had a choice to make between the big tank or these orcs. I really didn't want these orcs making it into combat with my Rubric Marines. I did not shoot at them as well as I had hoped to. So Lord Tremendous went in there to save the Rubric Marines. I figured that was the bigger threat. I charge, they overwatch, they don't hurt me, I make it in, and hopefully I make short work of them. And that's exactly what happens. I do take 3 wounds, but I kill all but 1 of the orcs, which is spectacular. The guy with the banner is not in combat. He's some character with some big banner thing, and so I don't get to touch him yet, but I plan to very, very soon. Nothing happens in the morale phase, so here's top of 4 after movement, and yeah... not too terrible. The orcs start coming down from the left flank there. They're going to go after the rubrics. The boss, he comes over to try to deal with the rubrics inside the ruins. The red tank pretty much stays still. The character falls back behind the tank. And the boys on foot, they start... coalescing, something like that, congregating around the objective over there. The orcs on the right side there stay on the objective they're currently holding, and that's it for movement. We dive into the shooting phase, and the big red tank fires at my Rubric Marines that are in the ruins, and drop another one. Again, considering how much he's shooting at me and what he's shooting at me, I'm only losing 1 model per volley, if that. I'm very okay with those numbers. These guys are really, really holding their own.
Kind of orc.
We jump into the assault phase, and the big psychopath with the big banner charges into my guys and makes it up all 3 flights of stairs and everything, and is toe-to-toe with Ahriman and one of my Rubric Marines. Nothing I could do about it. Swarm of boys over here charge into the 2 remaining Rubrics that came out of the Rhino. I do drop 2. Yes, one had a Warp Flamer, the other had a Warp Flame pistol. I don't think the pistol was in range, but the Warp Flamer was, and I was able to drop 2 of the guys. So I guess it's better than nothing, but even if I had dropped 6, it's not looking good. The fist starts swinging, and yeah, my 2 remaining Rubric Marines die. There's absolutely nothing I could do about it. It was just too many attacks. And again, no regrets. I got outplayed here. It is what it is. after the combat, was finished, this is their 3-inch reconciliation movement. He attacks with his one little orky dude with a power claw and does 6 more wounds to Lord Tremendous. Lord Tremendous then drops the power bomb on that little bastard and destroys him into a fine green goo. But man, what a fighter that little bastard was. And then here, really shocked the hell out of me. So the banner guy swings away and isn't able to do anything. Just poor Roland. Ahriman swings back, and the Rubik Marines swing back. The Rubik Marines don't do anything, but Ahriman hits with his black staff and kills the bastard. I was really surprised. I mean, really, really surprised. And yeah, survives combat. Nothing happens in morale phase, so once again, here we are in bottom of 4 after movement, and really, Lord Tremendous moves up. I decide I'm going to go after the other tank. I'm not going to win this game. It's going to be really, really difficult to do that. Maybe I can pull him off an objective, because Ahriman and the Rubik Marines, if they survive, are going to just go back down a level and regain the objective, and maybe I'll get lucky. I do have First Blood, but he's got 2 objectives right now, so I need to pull him off. Actually, he's got 3 right now, so I need to pull him off one of these objectives, 2 of the objectives, and not lose Ahriman. So it's not impossible, it's just highly improbable. So like I said, Lord Tremendous moves up, he's going to go after the big red tank, and the Rubik Marines and Ahriman prepare themselves to fight the boys that are all down in the middle there. That's it for movement. Psychic phase in a nutshell, the Rubik Marine and Ahriman are able to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Orks that are coming after him, which is significant. I'm able to get Prescience off on the Rubik Marines and Weaver of Fate off on Ahriman once again. So we're doing as good as we can. We open up into the shooting phase, and Lord Tremendous empties both of his rapid-fire battle cannons into the red tank, and I'm only able to get 5 wounds through. Not my finest hour, but the rapid-fire battle cannon... I'm sorry, the 3 heavy stubbers go into the rocket guys that are threatening the rubrics, and the rubric shots go into them, and in the end, there's only 4 left. That is a much more manageable number than the 20 or so that were there a second ago. So that's actually quite awesome. They're getting quicker now. Lord Tremendous charges... we go into self phase, and Lord Tremendous charges the red tank. He does overwatch and do a single wound to me, but I make it in, and that's what's important. The fists start flying, and Lord Tremendous is able to stomp that tank into destruction. Killing it. I don't believe it explodes. Maybe it does, and I can't remember, but I do seem to take another wound, which is perfectly fine. And that's great, because it gives me an opening shot to this character, and that would be outstanding, because I believe that's his Warlord. In the morale phase, only 1 of his little Orks run away, so I guess you gotta take what you can get. So there's still 3 left, but I was really hoping they were gonna run off the table, and I wouldn't have to worry about them anymore. That takes us over here to top of 5 after movement, and believe it or not, it's kind of getting weak on both sides now. I'm proud of that. What I'm not proud of is 3 rocket guys jump up into the ruins with my rubrics, and that makes me nervous. He's awful confident with just 3 guys. His character basically stays right where he's at. He can't get away from Lord Tremendous, but the big swarm of guys, they come off the objective to come after Lord Tremendous. And I'm sitting on like 6 or 7 wounds left, so it's not a great feeling. But hey, I'm going for body count, not victory. So he's playing my game, or I'm playing his game. We're playing a game, and it's a lot of fun. So that'll do it for movement. In his shooting phase, the big old swarm of guys open up on Lord Tremendous, and believe it or not, 2 wounds get through. Not sexy. Not sexy at all.
Leave me alone.
We go into the assault phase, because that was really all there was, and the 3 little psychopaths jump up and make it into the Rubik Marines and Ahriman without any problems. After all is said and done, though, I'm actually very impressed. The rubrics die, and they die, in a worthy cause. They absorb all the attacks. He kills the unit. However, Ahriman swings back and is able to kill all 3 of them. Maybe I underestimate him in close combat, or maybe I'm just getting really lucky. I'm not really sure, but he's really kicked some ass today. The big swarm of Orks, they come after Lord Tremendous. They barely get into combat with him with their charge, even with the here we go. So with his 3 inches, he gets more guys in there, and he's able to do a single wound to me. But the guys, I mean, I must have taken out 8 or 9 of them. It was amazing. Which doesn't really matter. Their leadership like 12 right now, so they can care less. He makes his role no problem. But they're whittling me down, but I have hope here. I have a little bit of hope that I just might be able to kill him. And that brings us to bottom of 5 after movement. So Lord Tremendous uses the crap rule disengage to get away from the Orks because I want to kill his character and get him off the objective. Because if I can do that, I have a chance. And with the shooting, I am hitting on 5s, but with the shooting and everything like that, I have a chance. Plus, I can assault, shoot, and disengage because why not? It's a rule, I'm going to use it, God help me. Ahriman drops down to the 2nd level in order to claim the objective, and that's it for movement. Everything else I have is dead. Nothing helps in the psychic phase because there's nothing in range, so we go into shooting, and Lord Tremendous takes out the character. It's amazing what 46 shots plus all the heavy stubbers into one target can do, and I did. I emptied everything into him because I needed 5s to hit, and I really wanted to kill the character. I wanted to kill the character because, well, it was a character, it was his warlord, and he was on the objective. I was thrilled. We're going into the assault phase, and I figure why not? Lord Tremendous charges into the Orks. They overwatch, they don't wound me, I make it in. I got a chance! I'm looking forward to it. This could turn around, and that would be crazy. Unfortunately, reality reasserts itself. I'm able to do a little bit of damage, not a whole lot. I think maybe 3 of the Orks die, but it's not enough. Their counterattack, one guy's got a power claw, and they finish off Lord Tremendous. He doesn't explode, but he does drop. And then the 3-inch reconciliation the Orks get put them in contact with the objective. So, oh well, it was a worthy effort. And then, long story short, the game actually does go all the way through to turn 7, but neither of us move. I'm not taking Ahriman out there because he's holding the objective. He's not going to move his Orks off the objective to come after Ahriman because then it would be a tie unless they could kill him. No one's willing to take the risk, so basically 4 turns go by, nothing happens. And there's the end of the game. That's what it looks like. This was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, especially after the first couple of turns when it looked like it was just going to be a straight-up massacre. This was a lot closer. I mean, he clearly won. Spoiler! But, yeah, crazy good game. Really, really close. And we're going to get to the recap in a minute because this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys and gals, real quick, you've been watching this battle report, you've seen how great my models look, and I know you're a little envious. I get it. If I saw models as magnificent as these, I'd be envious too. Well, I had nothing to do with it. I can't paint to save my life. I'm really terrible at painting. It looks like a child attacked him with a crayon and lost. Luckily for me, I know a guy named Big Tom from Big Tom Painting, and he has personally painted every single model in my army by himself, and that's why my army looks as incredible as it does. So if you would like the same standard, if you would like your army to really shine like mine does, please send him an email. Tell him what you got, tell him what you're looking for, and see what kind of agreement you guys can come to. He does quality work, he does it fast, he does it accurately, and in the end, you don't have those boring, ugly, gray, and bare metal models that makes everybody shun you. And they are shunning you. It's probably behind their back, or behind your back because they're nice. But, yeah, stop being the bane of your LGS. Contact Big Tom, get your models painted, and finally be someone that your group can be proud to play against. So like I said, this is a defeat for Lord Tremendous. He beat me 5-6. I had 5, he had 6, obviously. I had 1 objective for 3 points, First Blood, and Slay the Warlord. He had 2 objectives. So just missed pulling off a tie, possibly the win if I had just survived a little bit more. But he had me on the back foot since turn 1, so I'm just pleased that it was as close as it was. I was actually very proud of the way my army held up in this game, so this was phenomenal. I mean, 5-6. Just, you know, it's one of those things where if just one thing had gone the other way, it could have been my victory. So I'll just hold that loss deep inside my soul, and next time I play him, I'll release that demon, and hopefully it'll help. That sounds healthy. My Rubik Marines really took a pounding and weathered a lot of it this game. I mean, hundreds of shots to take out one unit. I know it didn't look great on the table, but man, it really impressed me how much damage they could take before they finally fell. Very, very proud of my units. The Warp Flamers and the Rhino weren't terrible. They weren't terrible at all. They didn't get the greatest targets of opportunity, just being able to go up against the Triceratops. I was very curious to see how they would do against the infantry, but I didn't get my chance to shoot their flamers at them. Maybe next time I'll play them a little bit better and get that shot. And Orc Swarms, the big old clouds of orcs, it's like, cool, I killed 6, and they're still at 100% combat efficiency. There was just no target that you could ignore in this army. Everything I shot at was the right thing to shoot at and the wrong thing to shoot at. There was just too much. I didn't bring enough ammo, and I think that's supposed to be one of the strengths of the orcs, so it all works out. It was very, very cool. I don't know if you figured this out yet or not, but the Orc Flyer that he has, I hate. It's not expensive enough. He's not paying for what he gets. It does too damn much. It does it too fucking well, and I'm glad I killed it, even though I found out that on a 4-up it explodes, because why not? Why wouldn't it? For 126 points or whatever the hell it is, under 130, it does way too much. Wake up, Games Workshop. This is why you guys have a bad rap. 2 rapid-fire battle cannons on my Renegade Knight was definitely a good call. Makes him a bit more expensive, but yeah, the output of his damage is definitely worth it. And yes, I paid way over 130 points for my Renegade Knight. Armon surviving in the end caused me to clench a little bit. I was really worried about that, especially when we were going back and forth over all the extra turns where we really didn't do anything because neither of us wanted to move. I know I should have, but if I had, he'd have been in range 2, charged him, and that would have been the end. I would have been off the objective, he would have still had one, it'd have been game over. So, I mean, what other option did I have? At least I didn't get tabled. I was right there on the edge. But, yeah, just a wonderful, bloody fight. This was an outstanding game. I mean, win, lose, draw, this was a game that this is the kind of game you want to play every time. The one that you're right on the edge of your seat the entire fight. It's great. Really outstanding opponent. I don't know too many people that play Orcs at this level, but wow, does this guy play him well. Our rematch couldn't be soon enough, and I cannot wait to go up against the Wog Boss once again. And that's it. That is the end of the game. Battle Report number 20 is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But as always, thanks.